Elgato Gaming is seriously aiming to be your one-stop shop for everything you need to get a live stream up and running. Game console capture cards, camera capture cards, green screen, macro keypads, and now lighting? I'm always super nervous when a gaming company dips their feet into actual production gear, as they usually either just add a logo and a price increase on someone else's product, or they just get it so very wrong, as in the case of many gaming microphones. But does the Elgato Key Light hold up compared to the competition? The short answer is, well, yes.
The Mod Mic Wireless can boldly go where no mic has gone before. This microphone can attach to any headphones, requires no additional wires, features very low latency, a dual capsule microphone, 12-hour battery life, and LED indicators on the receiver so you know when you're muted and or when the battery is running low. And you can basically run your entire house without ever losing a signal. What more could you ask for? Learn more by clicking the link in the video description.
Typically, a streaming setup with a camera needs some serious lighting to have a clean facecam image, and even more to really fill out a chroma key setup. The problem is that most softboxes take up a lot of space, and good soft LED lights typically need to be big or very expensive, and CFL bulbs produce a lot of heat. My own desktop tutorial facecam setup has a Rollflex LED panel with diffusion material. It's super soft and looks great, but the light itself looks a tad ridiculous up there, to say the least. I've looked into LED studio lighting a lot over the past year or two, so I was pretty stoked to review this. The Elgato Key Light aims to tackle all of those awful streaming setup headaches. It's a thin, lightweight LED panel that comes with a basic tilt adjustment head and a fantastic, sturdy pole mount that clamps to your desk. The light features 1/4-inch threaded tabs on all sides, which are commonly used for most tripods and light stands and things like that, and so you can mount it on any side of the light or use it with your existing light stands or clamps and things like that, which is very handy. By name, this is meant to be a key light, meaning that the primary light on your subject or face, that's what it is. You can use a second one as a fill light at a lower brightness to help reduce shadows on the face, or rely on bounce lighting for existing room lighting or something like that. This really wouldn't work well as a backlight or a kicker light. As you can see here, it's a little too large and obvious on camera, but you could try. This light is also soft and can get bright enough that you could use it to light your green or blue screen backdrop for chroma keying, which is very handy. Sometimes it's hard to get the right light for those. The light itself is simple and pretty impressive. It's just a flat, thin LED panel with an opal diffusion sheet, so you have a nice, soft, diffused light, and the light is big enough to provide a soft light source without being too big in your setup. The problem with small LED panels is that they still end up giving harsh or hard light without a lot of distance and a nice diffusion layer in between. This is quite soft. And most lights like this, there's a few from Dracast and Falcon Eyes. There are cheaper ones that are usually edge lit, and it's quite obvious with hot spots around the edges. But you can't see the individual LEDs on this one at all. It's just completely soft, as if it's one soft light source through and through, which is nice. The stand is quite thoughtful. It has a solid clamp to clamp to most desks with a handle that provides more leverage than most similar setups, but it might be a tight fit with some setups compared to other desk clamps due to this larger handle. I found myself running into the wall with it. The pole arm itself has spin to tighten adjustment dials to adjust height from a minimum desk to light height of 22 inches and a max height of 46.5 inches. This should be more than enough range for most streamers, and it's pretty sturdy through and through, with a little wobble when it's fully extended, but that's if you're really pushing on it and not just through normal use. The pole itself is not detachable from the clamp, however, which kind of prevents me from using it in my primary desk setup, as I'd have to start pulling out monitors and such to get it behind them, behind everything with the pole pre-attached. Clamps are not super friendly to against-the-wall desk setups, as I've found out many times now. The light is wall-powered, no option for batteries. I would have loved to see some Sony NPF-style battery support or something else here. The included power cord is decently long, but a little extra length would have been quite nice given the height range that the arm can extend to. The Elgato Key Light connects to your computer and smartphones via Wi-Fi. You must first set it up with something that has Wi-Fi itself. At the time of recording and reviewing, the Android app wasn't available, only iOS or PC and Mac, so I used my 2013 MacBook Pro to do the initial setup and get the light on my Wi-Fi network. From there, I can control it from my main PCs and even the Elgato Stream Deck. Their Control Center app lets you manage multiple Elgato Key Lights at once, controlling power, brightness, and color temperature. And this thing can get insanely bright at a max brightness of 2500 lumens, and a color temperature range from 2900K to 7000K. I keep most of my lighting around 6000 Kelvin to keep my white balance settings matched across cameras and matched up to my main video light, the Aperture C120D. The Stream Deck can turn your lights on and off, change the color temperature, and change the brightness all at the press of a button. I hope they do let you group lights together into kind of like, this is my desk setup. Control all of them at once with one button soon in the software. I'm sure they will. This light can do wonders to improve the on-camera visuals for most content creators. Twitch game streamers, makeup YouTubers who don't want ring lights or don't have ring lights, tech reviewers who want to get nice B-roll or just a nice on-camera set, and even photographers. I found that the softness of the light meant that even cheaper webcams tend to look nicer as a result. The C920, the Brio, there's limitations with them, but you can make them look nicer. Though it's worth noting that if you don't have enough backlight, actual webcams will still tend to overexpose and look burned on your face. But real cameras hooked up to the Elgato Cam Link will look amazing, assuming you dial in your settings and match the white balance to the color temperature that you have set the key light to. I generally recommend around 5500 or 6000 Kelvin as a starting point. I only have one of these, so I can't really test chroma keying performance with two going at once or something like that. If you do get two, instead of having them both on your face, that would probably be blinding and end up looking a little unflattering for a lot of people. I might recommend using a second one to clear out the shadows on your green screen for chroma keying. Honestly, this light is leagues more convenient, at least for desk use, than my Draycast LED panel of similar design, and it costs significantly less. The Draycast was very expensive. This Elgato Key Light comes in at around $130, beating out similar ideas from Falcon Eyes, Draycast, and a few other companies, while being much more convenient to use for streaming setups specifically. Sure, by being targeted at streamers, these can be more limiting in their use case, but as long as you have a computer or a phone handy and don't mind running it off wall power, these lights can be used for just about anything. I'm certainly glad I have this in the studio, and I hope to pick up another for my main desk once I figure out how to squeeze the pole arm in there. That being said, for $130, that's a hefty investment to jump into streaming, especially when you're already spending basically that same amount on a capture card and a microphone, though you do get what you pay for, but I'm not sure I'd entirely recommend starting out with such a pricey light. I also have the small, ultra-thin, diffused LED light from Pengshi that was $40 on Amazon. That can almost get you most of the way there. This model specifically is no longer available, unfortunately, but there are usually others like it. This is just a Chinese knockoff that gets remanufactured. But this light isn't color accurate at all, and most at this price point aren't, and you need more diffusion material to even come close to the softness that the Elgato light provides, especially due to there being a size difference. This one does not come with any sort of clamp, stand, or power supply, battery, things like that at all, so yeah. These were just announced. I received a pre-release unit for review, so when I can, I'll have product links in the video description. While you're down there, hit the like button and subscribe for more tech education. I'm EposVox, and I'll see you next time.